to Pitchslap.
Hi, I'm Gianna Whitver. I am the CEO and co founder of the Cybersecurity Marketing Society, which is the world's best place to be a marketer in cybersecurity. And I'm a quasi serial entrepreneur as well. I'm so glad to be on the show.
All right. I guess we're gonna get pitch slapped. We're gonna have to buy something. You're running a society, so we have to prepare to be asked to join something or go somewhere or do something like that. And I guess we'll get into that.
We will. And actually, it's going to be a lot of things because I've got like three ventures off the top of my head that I could pitch slap at you. The first being the Cybersecurity Marketing Society. Of course, cybersecuritymarketingsociety.com, by the way. Long URL will get you there.
We
But there's
won't have that
others.
in the show notes, everybody.
Gosh darn it.
All right. GTM family, thanks for sticking with us. We're a couple minutes into the show. If you're still listening, thank you so much. And let's try and repeat that 30 or 40 times while we get to the end. It is Friday, November 3rd. So anything we say right now is opinion. We're allowed to change our minds in the coming days and weeks. The show will probably air in May, April, June 2024, 2025, based on my editing speed. So, Gianna, what up, dude?
Hey. Hi, Peter. How you doing?
Hi. I'm doing all right. God, when we met, you were a VP of marketing.
I was. And those were dark days. No, I'm just kidding. They were fine. They were fine days. Yeah, I used to work at a security company called Votiro, an awesome company, by the way. I love the team very much. The product is great. What they do is they proactively remove hidden, known, and unknown malware from files before they enter your organization, regardless of the channel that they enter through. And that was totally a pitch, by the way.
Oh,
And
that's
see how easily I just leaned into it, even though I haven't been VP of marketing there for like a year now.
perfect. That's perfect.
Mhm.
Because you're young. You're younger than me. I'm not going to cut you in half and count the rings or anything like that. But how do you catapult to being a VP of marketing at a legitimate organization? So the people that are listening to this either don't know better and are trying to learn,
Uh-huh.
or they just couldn't find something better to listen to. So, how does a career aspirational skyrocket to a VP of marketing at a legitimate company, not just forming an LLC and slapping a title on, seeing what happens?
Yeah, I mean, it I am younger than you because 'cause you're old,
Oh yeah, I'm
but
overweight too.
everyone is, I am too, that's fine. Alright, so we're both old and ugly, and, uh, basically how I got to this position, there was specifics involved of asking for the role and things like that that are boring. The real big picture reason I got to where I am today is because I'm always doing something. Ever since I graduated from college, I have always had a part-time thing on the side, even when I had and I've had also a job throughout, all the way up until this point, up until January of 2024, where now I'm being a full-time entrepreneur, or January of 2023, where I'm a full-time entrepreneur. But what really put me in place to get that VP of marketing role is having filled my life with working all sorts of side gigs, side hustles, consulting for so many different types of companies that I grew a lot of experience throughout my journey to get there. So that's how.
Okay, well, and there we go. And you touched on a point that has become thematic here, and you said, "Well, that wasn't important." You asked for it.
Okay, we can go into that. I asked for it.
Well,
It was
but that's a huge thing. Like we all have this trepidation and fear, and we overuse the term imposter syndrome. Having been a
Mhm.
massive failpreneur, I can tell you what that actually means. And you being a serial entrepreneur, you can tell people what it actually means. But if it just means you don't have confidence in asking for the next phase of your job, that's not imposter syndrome, y'all. DM Gianna if you have an issue with that, or join the Cybersecurity Marketing Society and start a thread in their community. But yeah, that's a huge thing. I love serial entrepreneurs. I love that you've got the addiction. And so do I.
Have the problem.
Yeah, but it's it's fun because you've cracked the code, or at least what I think the code is, and that it's W-2s are the security and the side hustles are the surety,
Mhm.
and that you always have a cushion, a safety net, a parachute of some sort. But also, and this is where employers are slacking, you have some other place where you're being creative, where you're exploring, where you're learning new things that you bring back to the workplace.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
mean, in your case, you did something and then you left the workplace, which is
Yeah,
every
which employers don't
employer's
like.
fear. But they also need to get over that.
Yeah, I mean, it's, it's interesting. I have Peter, I'm also a failpreneur too, so let me say that. I said
Okay.
serial entrepreneur, but I've also failed many times. I just really like to build things, I think. And being like you were saying, you didn't say a side income making machine, you said a creative endeavor, a side hustle. And that's how I view it. Doing the entrepreneurship thing on the side as part of your day job, it's not just a way to make some income and some money potentially if you're successful, but it's also a way to be creative. And I think as adults, we have less creative outlets than we did as children, and business is one of them.
But you've always been in marketing.
Yeah, I have. I started at IBM working on proposals and content. So basically, embedding with the sales team, working on marketing things and sales enablement for deals. And then I did take a stint, a couple year stint at a commercial real estate investment and development company.
Okay.
So I was basically the third person at that company, and I was like the right hand lady to the partner. And I did, my title was marketing and operations, and I did do marketing, creating deal decks for investors and creating beautiful graphics and PDFs and promotional items to sell our properties or to buy or to entice a leaseholder to join like a commercial center. But I also spent time learning some real business, which was very good for my career as well, and very helpful for my role as head of marketing, which was deal making and financial modeling. So I would be the one to model out the projections of the revenue. If we bought this property and we put X amount of improvements into it, what could we expect if we leased it at X dollars? What was the ARR? What was the CAC? All of that. And so I would say that was a little beeline from marketing and into more business. And then I came back to marketing at my next role, which was marketing at a threat intelligence company.
And you've been in cyber ever since.
Yes, have been in cyber ever since.
But okay, you you haven't always been tech, which is great. You started in tech, so you
Mhm.
lost a bet at some point. And
Well, my parents worked in warehouses, so they were happy.
there you go. Especially going to IBM.
I didn't lose a bet. I
Walking
won a ticket, a golden ticket, actually.
yeah, and maybe that's a story that we need to I'm loving learning about you. I hate doing show prep and I hate going into all that. So this is where it becomes fun for me. How do you just walk into Big Blue? That's a huge patch for anybody's NASCAR jacket. It's got to open doors long term indefinitely. Like
Mhm.
how'd you okay, so warehouse workers, you didn't come from a family of entrepreneurs, or did
No.
you? No? Okay.
Nope.
You
No
didn't come from
entrepreneur.
a tech marketer
Nope.
family.
They didn't even work in an office. So my mother's goal for me was that I would work in an office and not with do physical labor like
Okay.
she did. Um, so how I got into Big Blue was through relationships and through being dumb enough to go to an expensive school because my parents had not gone to college, so they didn't know. It was all like American dream and college dream, go to very expensive school. So I went. Um, And it was just through being part of that school's English department. You get the emails. IBM wants to recruit from the alumni, the alumnus of their existing employees. They have programs where they, reach out to schools and say, hey, we're hiring for this type of role. And so I applied and I got in. And I would say that IBM, despite what people think about it today, and despite the challenges that it has, is a very good starting place for a person entering a career. One, there's a humongous network. Anyone I talk to, like there's a 50-50 chance anyone I connect with on LinkedIn is like an ex Big Blue, is what we ex IBM or ex Big Blue. Um, and it was a good starting role for me because I had not experienced or had any experience in terms of like office and what that was like. Super corporate environment, right? IBM's a humongous company, and the another gift it gave me. I worked with brilliant people, I did, but another gift it gave me was that I realized I did not want to work at a company that big,
Okay.
probably ever again.
Do you think for entrepreneurs, do you think it's always going to be startup vibe? I have yet to have talked to somebody over hundreds of these conversations where somebody's an entrepreneur and they love being in an organization with more than 100 people in it.
I think it depends. I think there's probably some future entrepreneurs who are hanging out at these humongous companies that are like, you know what, this is okay too. Um, Not every entrepreneur, I think, has to be like all like, yeah, grind, 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 startup, scale up,
Oh, we're
agile, like,
anti-hustle culture here, so we
Yeah.
don't have to worry about that. Yeah, don't do that, kids.
Mhm. So, while I think probably 88% of entrepreneurs are not interested in that humongous company environment, the thing is they probably do aspire to be that big one day, right? There's a lot who would count it as a success if they grew that big. So I think my answer to your question is yes, actually. I agree with you.
So they
88%.
won't take a job there, but they'll gladly go.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, they take a job there. There's plenty of entrepreneurs who are stacking, cash at, like, Amazon right
Yeah.
now.
Okay. I can get with you on that. I was blessed in
Mhm.
my last role actually where we met to come in an entrepreneur seat and be rather sovereign and get to run some things. And that's very unique for a 6,000 person organization at the time.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. I think I shouldn't say tolerable. It was a great company, great place to work, great culture. I was very surprised by all of that. Um, but it was really nice. Leave me the hell alone. Let me do my thing my way, and I'll show you a result. And it paid off for all of us. Anyway, you didn't just do real estate and tech. You did fashion. You did ecom.
Mhm. Oh, I had, like, an Etsy shop at one point.
Okay.
I sold 5 I made f I sold this I started in college. So I did always have the bug. I was always, you know, trying something. But I had an Etsy shop for a long time where I sold handmade pin back buttons. So, like, you take the machine and you, like, put paper and you create designs and then you stamp it. And my niche was maps, so I would buy vintage maps in bulk from various thrift stores and flea markets and stuff, and then I'd do pin back buttons, with requested locations by the buyer on them, like custom made. And I did 500 of those, and I don't do it anymore because it's not a good it's not a very, it's not a great, it's not what I wanna be doing
So
right now.
over the years, have you moved that box of 480 from house to house, apartment to apartment?
I have the machines back in this closet. Actually, there's one there. I have one there, and I have 2 in the closet, and I have approximately, like, 7 humongous, huge boxes of map books.
I I am gonna need some other folks that suffer this I've got the same issue. The crafty entrepreneurs, we can't get rid of
I know.
these things we made. And then now it's also reached a point where you don't have the heart to sell them.
Yeah, I don't wanna sell them. I spend a
No.
lot of time digging for these at the Goodwill bin in Tampa, Florida, and at various, weird garage sales, and, I'm gonna do something else with them one day.
What garage
That's what it
sale
is, you
isn't
know?
weird?
Hmm?
What garage
No.
sale isn't weird?
Oh, okay, I thought you were gonna say garage sales aren't weird, and I was like, "Well, I don't know, depends on the ones you've been to,"
The
but
the hill I'll die on is saying garage sales aren't weird. No, no, I'm good on
that's
that.
that was your
Oh,
hill.
goodness. Yeah, I'm real good on that. Okay, so yeah, people, please chime in and help us understand why this happens. My wife teases me that, like, you remember Cast Away with Tom Hanks. It's important there's a space in there, and with you being an English major, you know why. But like, I got Wilson and all these other balls that I've named sitting back
Mhm,
there that they need to get thrown away. I throw away my kids' toys before I throw away my old work junk.
mhm. I know, it's weird, it's, I don't know, maybe we're sentimental people.
I at least throw them all in something I call the brag box. Look
Mm.
behind me, I have a bottle of beer that's completely unopened, and it's been there for 13 years.
Did you get it as a kudos or something?
No, I gave birth to that beer.
Oh, you made it.
No, no, I didn't make it. It was an artisan beer from Blue
Okay,
Moon that I got hired by Miller Coors to bring it, from an off-premise beer to an on-premise beer with a disrupt to make the beer popular enough that they could justify making it a real brand, and they did. It's called Short Straw.
amazing. Yeah, I would keep that though, Peter. I
Yeah,
think you shouldn't feel bad about that at all.
but
That's
the
not you don't have 20 boxes of cartons of beer.
but I do have, like, 20 cartons of EDDM overruns from companies that are out of business. Not my fault. They fired me, and so then then they go out of
And
business.
then they went out of yeah,
Yeah,
mhm.
exactly.
So,
So,
I mean,
there
you
we
could
go.
digitize maybe some of these or create like a digital museum of Peter's accomplishments,
Well, because
but
I have that time.
I know, I know. You have kids, one day they'll be 13 and need $20, and then that's your helper.
I don't know, and you don't know how far $20 goes with a kid these days. Alright, so speaking of kids, you're a drug dealer. South by Southwest. Why were you
Oh.
encouraging kids to do startups? Why were you encouraging entrepreneurship?
I
What's wrong
forgot
with
about
you?
that. So that's one of the side things I did. For like 3 or 4 years, I was involved with South by Southwest Pitch, which is their huge, big pitch competition they hold every year in Austin, Texas at the conference. And I led a team of about 10 student researchers to find the coolest undiscovered startups in the world. So we had this huge list of all these random newsletters and all these random publications and all these underground blogs from around the entire world because diversity of region and diversity of country was important also to South by South's pitch. Um, so we would, for weeks and weeks, scour these websites. I'm sure there's now an AI that does it, but there was an awesome human element to this. Scour these websites looking for interesting startups to invite to pitch. And it was wonderful because of the 10 students, usually two would be very into it. They would love this work. It was like do 10 a week for like, do 10 to 50 a week for multiple weeks. And students who really were and it was a program with the SI Newhouse School of Public Communications Digital Entrepreneurship Center at Syracuse University. And the students who loved it, it was like it like lit up their eyes in a way that I only realized entrepreneurship was a thing when I got to college. And I can tell that story too. It lit up their eyes and they were so excited about learning about all these different startups. And I knew that we had created a spark of entrepreneurship in those specific students, or maybe, I don't know, venture capitalism, if they were like really, since they really enjoyed reviewing all these different startups. So, so it was a really fun. I got to see the fruits of the labor because I would go to South by Southwest and see the startups that were accepted and actually got on stage and pitched to hundreds and hundreds of investors. And it was a really good time. And that also was one of those side things that I did, um, all while I was working.
So we normally just go into somebody's going to tell their story about how they fell into sales or they fell into marketing or they flip-flop between the two. You've been a pretty dedicated marketer from the start, but let's do a bifurcation with you. Tell this college entrepreneurship You didn't even know it was a thing
Mhm.
until you were approaching 20. Like, how does that work? Where did you think businesses came from?
I didn't think
Work.
about businesses.
Oh,
So here's the thing. If you grow up in apartments and like your parents work at in a warehouse, right? And like it's not a thing for businesses to be a part of your life or what you think about. So I had no idea about the world of how the world operated. I had no idea about real estate. We didn't own a house. I had no idea about any of those things. And each time, and I'm so grateful I went to this very expensive school in the end after paying off the loans because I was able to be exposed to a world of people who were in business, and therefore I was able to see things for myself that I did not see before just because of how I grew up. So, I was a freshman. I was walking through this cafeteria, cafe they have in one of the buildings. You could get food there. And there's an old man sitting at one of the tables with a sign, like a whiteboard sign. And on it is written, "Tell me your idea." And I was like, it was like a movie because I saw that sign, I walked past it, I like stopped and I did like a double take and then I backed up and I went up to this guy and I was like, "I have an idea." He was like, "Tell me about it." And I think at the time it was either sushi, or sorry, ice cream that is shaped like sushi so that you could eat little sushi ice creams, or it might have been from my Etsy shop. I was annoyed because I wanted to sell on multiple platforms my buttons, but when you make a handmade item, you only have one quantity of item, and therefore when you if you want to put on eBay and Etsy, you run the risk of it being bought twice and then having to refund a customer. So I was also thinking about, hey, how come there isn't some sort of software or something that could fix that? Because I'm annoyed actively by that. And so I told him my idea, and he said, you should get involved in entrepreneurship on campus. He was Professor Sean Brannigan at the, yeah, and yep, this is Syracuse University at the SI Newhouse School, head of the digital media entrepreneurship um, part of the Newhouse School, and that was the spark that got me into being an entrepreneur and even understanding business in general. And I've had a few more of those throughout my career and my life as well, like getting into a commercial real estate company. Wow, that was mind-blowing the first time I learned that, hey, all this land, like, someone owns. Every single square foot of land someone owns, and it can be utilized in different ways, and it was like a world opened, and it was like a door opened in front of me. So that one about entrepreneurship was when I talked to Professor Brannigan, in the cafeteria at the Newhouse School. It was like a whole world opened in front of me, and that's how I got into it.
very cool. Very cool. And you defaulted to real estate. Is it because of the geospatial and old maps love, or
No, it was just random.
okay, all
It
right.
was like I was referred in because people knew that I did high quality work and I was unhappy at IBM. So,
Not to disparage IPM, just
no, not to
it wasn't the
disparage.
right role for you. We
Yeah,
just
not at the time. I
yeah.
think I'd be if I ever went back there, I think I'd be much happier and way less, energetic.
There is a certain type of burnout that comes with naivete when you're in
Mhm.
big roles as a little person. It's hard, and yeah. Okay, so what drove you from being and we've had people on here before that like one of the thematics is never refuse an invitation, and it seems like you've gone that route and it's really paid off. And you've also asked to be invited, and that's paid off. You're the first one that's actually kind of articulated that. But why the hell, when you have a gilded business card and you've worked your way to it, do you stop doing that to be a community builder and an industry insider? Oh, and this is also
Yeah,
your gateway to lead into a pitch. So everybody brace yourself.
nice.
Yep.
I already gave that pitch though. I should pitch desk fence, the fence for desks, but we'll get to that later. Um,
Steal
so
my idea. All right.
wait,
No, no,
was
no,
that
no, no,
your
no, no.
idea?
Well, that's a session that we will add to this beyond people telling their backstory to establish some level of credential, we'll also have them do a what I wish was happening right now.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Steal
okay,
my
okay.
idea session.
Sorry,
All right.
I'll answer I'll follow the rules here.
No, you
All
do
right,
whatever you want. I
so
don't care. It's your show.
so yeah, so why did I give it up? I mean, I had been building what I had been building the Cybersecurity Marketing Society with my co-founders, Maria Velasquez, and at the time also Alien Cosmano for um 3 years. So uh when we started the Cybersecurity Marketing Society, which started with 10 people in a Slack community, just in a
It's more of a
Slack
guild,
channel.
isn't it?
A guild?
Yeah.
You would
It's
yeah,
not
I guess
it's
it's
not
a
a
guild.
society at that. It's a dinner club.
Oh, I don't know. We
You gotta
call
start
it the
somewhere.
name of the thing is the society. So we
Right.
our shorthand is the society, and we're not gonna call it the guild.
Well, it's too big for that now.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
guess so.
you formed
Um,
this guild that you call a society because it was the
yes.
aspirational goal. All right.
Yep. Well, no, we formed it because we wanted to fix our own problems. So Maria and I had known each other for a while, and we had worked at different security companies, right? So she worked at a data diode company. I worked at a threat intelligence company. And never the twain shall meet. Well, never the twain shall compete, actually. So we were non competitive. So we would call each other and share intelligence. We'd be like, what do you think about this event? What do you think about this vendor? Hey, can you take a look at my email campaign? Hey, can you take a look at my HubSpot setup? And we would share intelligence. And so we were like, wasn't that great that we had basically peer mentorship between each other while we were working at these separate companies? Because we were both at startups and there's not a lot of, it was like 30 people or less at, I think, each of our companies potentially. And there's not a lot of other people to talk to about marketing at these companies. And I was
Yeah.
new to cyber as well. I was new to the industry. So we, in March of 2020, we said, why don't we formalize this? Why don't we invite more people to join this? Why don't we make this about information sharing and networking and helping each other mostly? And so we started the Slack community with those 10 friends in the industry, and it's just grown to 2,553 members as of yesterday.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
November 2nd, 2023.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we did, and why? I mean, at a certain point, the needs of the society overtook what I could give while juggling a full-time role, and I was very burnt out. I was burning out really quickly. I needed to take a break, and I love my old company. I think they do amazing things. I loved working there. I loved the people. I loved the product. The product's amazing. Um, but it just was too much. I couldn't do both at the same time anymore. I was working, like 12-hour days every day,
Yeah.
more than that sometimes, all the weekends. And that's not to say I'm not doing that now, by the way. I'm just like busting
Yeah.
ass all day, every day. But at least it's on one thing instead of two things, which gets really difficult to juggle.
And you chose the money out instead of the money in
What
role.
does that mean? Sorry?
You had the income from
Yeah.
a grown up job, a real job. W-2 is what we started calling them around here. And you moved into the needy baby that
Yeah.
is, and you it wasn't like you were forming a startup. You were accommodating something that was growing and hungry. And like, how do people overcome that fear? Like, people encounter it in their normal job. They're offered promotions that they decline because they don't even know how to approach it. But when you've built something and by accident, not necessarily by intent, you clarified that for me. Thank you. That you've built this collaborative where people support each other and you understand its importance and you don't want to let it die
Mhm.
and you have to
Yeah.
feed it. Like, that's a lot of self-sacrifice for something. It's free to join, people.
Yeah, it is free to join. You must be a marketer at a cybersecurity product or services company. I will let me clarify something too. We we knew, so in terms of, did we build it to make money? Not really. I mean, what I am is whenever I build something, I'm open to the possibility of the future, right? It's not like getting a Chick-fil-A franchise or whatever, where it's like we're going to do this and it's going to result in X in 5 years. The majority of the things that I do, I identify a gap in the market and then I build something to fill it. And I do it in a way where it's not going to bankrupt me and like take my house and stuff. Right? Like MVP style or whatever. Um, so it was absolutely like a need. Like there was absolutely a humongous gap in the market for what we at the society do, but we didn't know how it would end up where it is today. We didn't know that it would result in this. We knew that there was always a potential for it to be quote unquote a business, right? At the early stages. But to start, we were doing it for fun and to help ourselves because it was actually cumulatively helpful for our own careers to create the society if we stayed in careers. So, um, and then I forgot your other question.
Me too, and that's not a big deal because, and that was just my concern. Like,
Yeah.
and it does open that door for that failpreneur moment. It was the buttons wasn't the failpreneur, was it? That was just you knew when to quit.
Yeah, I guess so. I failed a couple. I try things and sometimes they just don't work, right? I've tried many things. I have tried to build that tool that delists items from multiple platforms when they're sold on one. That didn't work. I tried opening a boba tea cart. That didn't end up panning out. I've tried a lot of things. And I try things in these small ways, and that makes it easy to try a lot of things too. Um, I'm not taking $200,000 and trying something. I'm trying something usually pretty small to start. And then that's really helped me hone my skills as an entrepreneur. And now I feel a lot more comfortable de-risking things and saying, okay, we will take a bigger leap. We will try more. We will invest more of our time, energy, resources into this and see what happens. Because now that I've tried a lot and failed and succeeded and kind of done okay and then
Mhm.
killed some things, right? It's like a skill you develop that you're like, all right, I can't see the future, but I see the path here and maybe it's worth a little more. And oh, I remember your other question, Peter. It was how did you make that transition from no income to from income to no income basically is what it is. So the society has made income every year that it's existed, but it's not enough to support a human, at least not until this year, since we launched a conference and now that conference helps, and we have sponsorships with some of our partners and things, and that supports the running of the society. It can't support more than one person, and it's definitely a lot less than if I was working a regular job. But I'm not going hungry. And I will say I de-risk that as well because I was always doing side things through my whole life. I'm very comfortable with the concept of freelance work, consulting, all of that. So what I did was I stayed on as an advisor and consultant to Votiro for a very small amount of hours per week. And therefore I had some small amount of income coming in as well.
So you
So,
left
and I
you
would
left
also
things.
take a little consulting gigs once in a while too. Sorry, go ahead.
No, no, no. So you left things just broken enough that they had to keep you around as an
No.
emergency phone call to.
Oh
No,
my
I'm
gosh.
teasing.
That's
I'm teasing.
funny. No, of course not.
And we are a
I
show
didn't
about.
intentionally break the HubSpot instance the day before I left, no. I'm just kidding, I didn't do that.
No, and we are a show about ethics. We definitely are anti quid pro quo. We are
Right, this is
definitely anti
Pitchslap.
sabotage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is Pitchslap, the show about ethics.
Yeah. Well, exactly. We're trying to call out bad behaviors.
That's true.
And I want to loop back. So I'm just going to ping on something real quick that entrepreneurship is experimentation. And
Mhm.
that's that whole like you build your creative muscles from that. But you've also shown that, like you were talking about, scouting locations, doing traffic counts, understanding your ICP, understanding your product market fit. At some point, if you're an entrepreneur, it becomes this visceral activity that is instinctive.
Yeah, you
And then
do
we don't understand it when
entrepreneurship.
people talk about it because it's like, you should already know this. Like, why are you conducting something to figure that out?
I also this is a philosophy, so Brie Pettis is the owner of, Bandem Tools. They do, like I actually don't know exactly they do, like, CNC tooling
Okay.
things. And I think you buy their stuff, like machines, and you can do your own CNC tooling. Forgive me, Brie Pettis, if you have if that is a complete and utter incorrect falsehood and totally not great description of what your company does, because actually I don't follow you for that. So
And
they
for us
have,
lay people, isn't that just called MakerBot? Isn't that
yeah.
the okay?
Okay.
Random
Does
tools
he
like
own
that? Come on.
MakerBot?
Do what now?
Does he own MakerBot?
Uh,
Oh no.
founder at the very least, I thought.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on, Brie Pettis. Yeah,
Co-founder.
MakerBot. Thank you. Okay. Anyway, the point is, once a year, I will like tag Brie Pettis and the person who co-wrote this thing that he wrote that really is like a manifesto. I also hold myself to. Um, and I'm gonna sound like a dumbass because I have to find it. Brie Pettis manifesto. It's the Cult of Done. So this is another thing that I really think was helpful to me and continues to be helpful to me, and is a reason why people say, Gianna, how can you do so many things? It's like, well, I subscribe to the Cult of Done, um, which is basically that that like everything is in draft mode and execution is everything. And the way to get stuff done is to do, is to do it, is to do, is to do, is to do. So I think you'll actually like this, Peter. I'm gonna drop a link if I can into the chat so that you can see it. This is like my favorite. I wish that the graphic wasn't so made in Microsoft Paint.
It's part of the fun. That no,
No.
launch and iterate. Like,
Yeah,
ship the shit.
exactly.
Oh, I
Ship
earned my
it.
E on this show. All right.
Done is the engine of more. Yep. So that's another thing that's helped me in both in all of my work and also in all of my entrepreneurship.
Perfect. Love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. So, as a marketer, as somebody that runs a marketing society, you probably eavesdrop a lot of conversations. You probably see a lot of bad behavior. You're probably involved in conversations where the opinions might differ from your own. What's some stuff that annoys you in the space as a former VP of marketing, an entrepreneur with a sizable society? If you have more than 2,500 people in your group, creator that's listening to the show, please ping us and voice a different opinion. But you built something, you got people talking, it's an active community. What are some of the topics that you wish people would drop or you have a very strong opinion on?
So in my community, I don't wish that anyone would drop any topic. The reason that
Ooh,
maybe a
nice
topic
save.
comes up, what?
Nice save.
No, hear me out. The reason a topic might come up over and over again is because it's still a pain point, or because we have a new member who is new to whatever and it's new to them, right? So community is a living thing. It's an ecosystem and it's constantly growing and there are new people joining. So if other people are annoyed by repeated topics, then they can choose, to ignore it. Eventually we do take anything that's repeated enough and we will create like content around it, because obviously it's a pain point for folks. But I'm not annoyed by any of the questions they're asked in the society. And I'll add, there's very little fighting also. There's like, I've had to kick out just a few folks, and that's for selling, not for fighting or
Oh,
for
I was
being
gonna say
offensive.
challenge accepted, but okay.
And then for in general, right? Because we all live in this interesting, the digital is the real world, which is true, experience, and we're all on LinkedIn and looking at thought leaders. One thing that grinds my gears personally is the lack of nuance in talking head leadership. So I love the posts, and of course it's my fault because I pay attention to the posts, and I like read them and I roll my eyes, right? I could spend less time on LinkedIn if I wanted to, but I think there is an utter lack of, and here's my totally non-nuanced um hot take. There's an utter lack of nuance in all of these marketing sales posts on LinkedIn by all these marketing and sales thought leaders. It is so annoying to hear and see that X is dead or X is not the right way to do things, because literally it depends on your company. It depends on how big your company is. It depends on your company maturity, your category maturity, your brand maturity. It depends on the assets you have at your company. Do you have who works at your company? What do you sell? What's your ICP? Who's the persona you're targeting? All of it. And in cyber, that's like a lot of different types also. Like cyber, if I want to just make this about cyber, you could be selling to the security engineer, to the CISO, to the SOC analyst, to the SOC leader. You could be selling, there's users, there's buyers, there's the influencers, there's a humongous swath despite our limited TAM of just focusing on the security teams. You could also focus on the IT teams, like, and then you as a company, you could be a startup fresh out of stealth mode, or you could be freaking CrowdStrike. And what works for you will not work for someone else in this industry. And then outside of this industry too. I don't know. I got a little passionate there, but
So
it's just,
these plateau absolute think boy messages,
yes. Ah,
and
yes.
I came to tech from automotive, a very very
Cool.
squiggly path. But there was a phrase that I always used was "your mileage may vary." It's true. Like,
I like that you use that in the automotive industry.
well, because some people have a heavy foot. And yeah,
Yeah.
of course you're getting 12 miles to the gallon. It says 43 on the sheet. Well, number one, the government's the one that found the 43, so you already know that that's not right.
Yeah.
But yeah, drive it like it's intended to be driven, not don't drive it like you intend to drive, and you'll find something different. My other favorite from there is there's an ass for every seat,
That's a
and
cute one.
it was a real understanding of if you build it, they will come. Got stuck with these urban green Z4s, terrible color, not an attractive car in any way, and the factory would dump them on you. You have to
Yeah.
figure out somebody to buy it. And this is a car you're only selling 10 of a year anyway, especially in
Yeah.
St. Louis. Anyway,
You sold cars, Peter, or did you have like a
oh my god,
dealership?
I need to do a turn the table show. Maybe I'll have you
Yeah.
do it.
What the heck?
No, so I was a developer in the late 90 my first business, 98. I launched a drop shipping company for car stereo while I was still in high school.
Very
Very
cool.
very nascent industry, very nascent concept, and ran that for a while. Then I became a developer, which was a terrible idea. I officially retired 2 years ago because I was a developer in ActionScript and Flash. And
Cool.
Adobe forced my retirement by getting rid of those. And I'm still working to convert them to like HTML5 or something that functions like my portfolio, my box of tricks that moves from house to
I
house.
know you need to like take videos of them.
Yeah, but I had an addiction. So in high school, I had two 7 series. I had a 325 IS that was track prepped, and I did Gymkhana, and I had a daily driver M3. I had those two 3 series were backwards.
Damn.
But yeah, I'm anyway. It was
Oh,
1 of 10. It was a 10 of 95. It was a crossover year. It had the OBD2 electronics and OB1 drive system. Anyway, we've actually gone into this on Hey Good Chat, which is even weirder. Um, but I came into the shop that I would go to as their eBay car sales guy in 2000,
cool.
2001. And from there became service writer, service manager, GM of the store, took it from a $3 million a year single store to 15 million a year across 3 stores. And then I
Cool.
turned 21. And so I was there for a long time till 2007. Did some direct consulting for BMW, launching lifestyle, and enough about me. Lifestyle, communities, saw a little bit of experiential because that's the majority of the work that I was doing.
Mhm.
You launched the conference. Come on, that's a
Me?
huge.
Me? I
Yeah,
did. We did.
why?
Yeah. Why?
You're bringing the tactile from the digital.
Oh, yeah. So we did our first, so we've done a virtual conference we did for 2 years since we started the society, and last year in 2022, ooh, excuse me. It's not that you're boring, Peter, it's that I'm
Oh
tired.
no, I'm boring. That's why I yell most of the time, and I try to say offensive things so people, huh, wait, what? And they start paying attention again. Anyway,
Like, Beethoven's, ah, shit, I don't know the name of the song. Failure at a cool trivia. Okay. So, basically, yeah, so we wanted to bring so we're a community. The Cybersecurity Marketing Society is a community, and a community is based around people. And also, there's another gap in the industry, which is education and content for the marketer in cyber in our industry. You can go to Inbound, you can go to, any American Marketer Association events. You can go to all these other events geared towards improving your marketing. And cybersecurity is a little bit of a specific industry, right? And this is why I could kind of tie this back to the why I roll my eyes so much at thought leaders saying this is the way to do marketing. It's like, well, man, it might not actually work in cybersecurity. It might, but it might not. Cybersecurity is a very specific industry. It's technical, highly technical. The buyers are elusive and sometimes grumpy. And there is just a lot of change, noise, threats happening all the time. It's an incredibly noisy industry. There's 3,500 security product companies today, and more every day. So we saw that the education and content geared towards the marketer in cybersecurity was insufficient because it wasn't actually geared towards the marketer in cybersecurity. It was just geared towards the generalized marketer. And so when we created our virtual conference, it was to fill that gap. And then last year, it was when we held November 2022, we held our very first in-person conference, Cyber Marketing Con 2022 in Arlington, Virginia. We told the hotel that 80 people would come. We thought, oh, maybe 100 would come. That'd be great. And 218 people came. And we had to turn ticket sales off the day before the event because we did not have enough chairs. So um, it was a blowout, awesome event. The energy was tactile. It was amazing to see people that you've known on the internet for years and had never met in real life. It was amazing to see people. The speakers were flawless and brilliant. And we had a lot of fun too, because there's this element of fun. Sure, being online is fun. I'm an internet person. You're an internet person, Peter. Like, we're both internet people. But there's something about getting together in person that can be really magical. And we're so excited because we have Cyber Marketing Con 2023 this year in Austin, Texas, December 10th through 13th. Tickets are on sales now. And we also at our conference have two very special sub events. We have Cyber Creator Con, which is for creators and media influencers in cybersecurity. And we also have Cyber CMO Summit, which is a one-day event inside of our conference just for the CMO, closed door, invite only. So we are gearing up for, and it's in like, as of this recording, it's in like 36 days. So we are gearing up for a really, really amazing event.
You didn't do it in the marketing countdown. You didn't say it was 19 actionable days until the event.
No, I didn't. And all days are actionable because I work every fucking day. So
It's entrepreneurship for y'all.
mhm.
It's also
Mhm.
passion about your
Yeah.
community.
I love my community. I love my people. I get so much joy. Literally yesterday, I had someone message me who said, "Gianna, thank you so much for starting this. I got a job. I got a job from your community. I was unemployed. I was laid off and I got a job through your community. The job was not even posted publicly yet, but someone posted in our job board on our Slack channel that they were looking and I messaged them and I got a job now. And that it's just so fulfilling, Peter. It's just so absolutely fulfilling to be able to see how something that Maria Elaine and I built as a 10-person Slack community has just grown to be this force in the industry. Um, oh my god, I'm gonna make myself cry. I'm
No,
gonna
that's
stop.
and no, but
Okay.
I really appreciate that going from a participant to a steward. That's a big part of where this come from
Yeah.
because it's not about giving advice. It's just telling your story and hopefully being a mentor and a guide in that. I love that you covered on the necessary nuance of cybersecurity marketing because it was something shocking and new to me. I was coming
Yeah.
from geospatial, from a very long stint as an interim head of marketing, reporting to the CEO for a geospatial startup that was 13 years old at the time and drove it to acquisition. Great. But
Right.
with geospatial, if there's a war that breaks out, business is booming. If there's a natural disaster, business is booming. It's great. The worst things that can possibly happen are the best things to move that software. I hate to say it.
It makes sense. It's like an emergent, we need to
Right.
see this like land. We need to see this. It's just it solves a need at a specific time.
Right. So then, I move into cybersecurity, and the early time was just SIAM. It was, you log into your health app and you have a really good platform that helps you log in quickly and easily and cheaply and securely and manage all that stuff. It's not a plug for anybody. But what I was noticing industry wide in cybersecurity marketing was anytime the word incident came up. Geospatial, we'd say a war broke out, and that'd be the term. But incident in cybersecurity could mean anything. But what it truly means is turn off your marketing. We need the line. And that's
Yeah.
super weird, dude. You can't follow any of the rules of marketing when you have incident pauses.
Yeah. It's an interesting space because again, like I went right from real estate to this and it's like, woo, like things are like a little like, the incidents and the breaches drive the market in a lot of ways. So does Gartner. Gartner has like a foothold on the industry.
And we're all
Um
chasing Foursquare. Yes.
mhm. And it's just very competitive also. It's a super competitive industry at the same time as being a very collaborative industry. Everything's about partner channel integrations. So it's a unique industry to be in. And I'm happy to be here because one, I'm helping others, right? With my unique position at the society, I'm able to help a lot of people. And then two, because inherently cybersecurity is a mission driven industry. So the when we look back at the work we've done, and as long as our product was not vaporware, that we're able to help uh, defend against threats and help reduce data breaches and impact on regular people who are just trying to live their lives and don't want to know and are not happy to learn that their healthcare was hacked and all their information is gone now. So it is a mission driven industry.
So as a life marketer, I'm gonna lighten the mood. Not really. Have you ever been blindsided?
Like where? Like
As
in
a
general?
marketer. As a marketer. Like
As a
have you
marketer?
is there the moving goalposts? Have you encountered that leadership team that established metrics that don't make ooh, I want to get your opinion on metrics, especially because you talk about nuances. Like
Yeah,
what
that's changing now though, because the market's a little right now it's like Peter said, it's November 3rd, 2023, and things are changing. I think it was like the go-go 90s or whatever. Like the past 5 years, like cash is cheap, like the world is ending. But the last 5 years are weird, man. If you think about it, it was like again, extreme amount of venture capital just pumped into industry. Now everybody has to be profitable. So at least right now, where it is very hard to get those oversized growth numbers in general, people are looking and saying, "All right, let's be more reasonable. This is not possible." Right? People are not buying as much. Our audiences are not buying as much. Security budgets are tightening. There's tool consolidation. So, what can we do in a reasonable way? There will always be executives who don't understand that and boards who don't understand that. But a lot of companies understand that now
so we're
because
going to
they've been
get
slapped
relief,
in the face with it.
but we're going to get relief from this whole bring leads in top of the funnel, let's have a form fill event
No, you'll
lifestyle.
never get
No, we're
that.
not
And
going to
that
get a
could be,
reprieve from that.
hey, and let me say something. That could be part of a bigger thing too, right? Form fill, whatever. And I know it's like, you can't say that. You can't say that lead gen is good. I'm not saying it's the end all be all. I'm saying it could be a piece of a larger pie when you're doing something and
But
you
do you
could
think there's
try
bad
and do it
metrics
well.
tied to lead gen? Is my
Yeah, there
bigger
can be. I think MQLs and then also that pisses me off too. It's like everyone hates MQLs. It's like, how do you define MQL? Motherfucker. Like that's how you know
so is that
whether or not an MQL is a good or a bad because how MQL doesn't mean any like if you say MQL Peter to someone, they will define something and then you ask someone else, they will say something different as what it means in their system. So, an MQL could mean something to one company where it's actually useful and then it could be garbage to another. Does that make sense?
no, it does. And I'm very anti acronym. Very,
I
very,
know.
very anti acronym. So when you said
Yeah.
TAM, I was going to throw in technical account manager, but you were on a roll, so I wasn't going to try and derail you. Um,
Tiger Asset Management.
yeah, it's what industry did you come from? And It sucks. Don't do that. Don't do that to people. No
All
more
right, I'm
acronyms.
sorry.
No,
Will
no,
you
no,
forgive
not
me?
you. Just in general. That's my hill that I will die on. We're all grown-ups. We can say whole words.
Oh, no. Why are
Anyway,
you in this industry, Peter, then?
I left there in September. I don't know what I'm
Oh,
doing right
that's
now.
true.
Yep,
You're Oh, wait, that means you get to make your own acronyms.
I do. That's why I
You get
own,
to make
Peter-led growth. PLG means something completely different in the world these days, and, I own a lot of PLG dot top level domains. PLG dot
Nice.
tips, PLG dot FYI are my 2 favorites. They're the most overused.
Very cool.
Anyway, it's nice having a break. I wanna run a PLG program, or I wanna run a partnerships program. I wanna build it from scratch, or I wanna fix something that's really broken. That's what I wanna do. Anybody that's listening, if I haven't landed somewhere yet. In the meantime, I'm just having fun helping others. Anyway, on the helping others, I think it's your book obligation. Let's fix the metrics. Why don't you interview 20 top performers in the space and clarify what an MQL actually is?
We're gonna have more than 20 top performers in this space at Cyber Marketing Con. Cool.
Yes, thank you. All right, you did the transition into the pitch. I love that. So the bigger thing is that the cyber the conference you're holding. I'm not even going to try it because I'm tongue tied, but the conference you're holding is more of a symposium. It's a networking and learning event. This isn't some place that people go
Yeah.
to badge scan. This is some place that people go to face with somebody that may be in competition with, and they just want to figure them out, or that would be a great ally and strategic or technical partner, or somebody that they just admire and are left on red in DM and
Yeah.
would like to just say, "Hey."
So this conference, like you just said, Peter, is not transactional. We will have an expo hall and we encourage our folks to visit every booth vendor because if you do, we're going to donate money to charity. So there is a component of we are bringing vendors in to our conference. We will have an expo hall. I'm not saying we won't have an expo hall. However, the expo hall serves a greater purpose and it's highly curated to only vendors that work with cybersecurity companies as well. So, hey, if you need to do some shopping for solutions or services, we have a great group of folks who will be there. That said, the rest of the conference focuses on peer led learning and networking. We have only 3 sponsored talks at the conference, just 3 out of, I think I looked at our event platform this morning, and this includes, like the lunches and stuff. They count everything as a session
Mhm.
in the platform, but it's 70 sessions. So 3 out of 70 are sponsored, and everything else is created from the community, created by marketers actively working in cybersecurity. So this is an event that's different than other events. It is all basically led by your peers in the industry, by the brilliant folks working there today, now, who are open and willing to share what they're doing and what's working and not working for them and willing to talk to you. So please come to Cyber Marketing Con. It's going to be a really awesome event. And that turned into an advertisement where I'm talking to the audience and inviting
No,
them
that's
to
that's
like a direct ad, direct sales. Please come.
no, you get permission here. You're not blindly hitting people. They're
Yeah.
being told who you are and why you're here. So
And the link for the conference site is cybersecurity marketing. Nope, it's not. Sorry. Wow. The link for the conference site is cybermarketingconference.com. And I'll make sure to get that to you, Peter, for the show notes.
and for the short URL, everybody, it's just plg.fyi/CMC.
Really?
Yeah, why don't we just do that?
Oh,
Throw
yeah,
out
that
that,
would be fucking
yeah, throw out
awesome.
that
Thank
short
you.
that short URL. Um,
I know the URLs we do are too long, but it's
yeah,
like, I don't know.
it's hard to buy them. Everybody's squatting on them. All right, so speaking of people not doing the right thing, but my hey good chat personality is going to come out here. We actually met through corporate social impact because that was what I was exclusively doing when you and I met. But can we get these expo hall vendors to pledge not to bring their trash and trinkets and swag that no one wants, and
Oh,
instead throw that, even if it's just the shipping cost, at matching donations to what you're doing? That
I
would make
love
me a
it.
happy little boy.
So there will be swag at the show, and there will be a swag
Oh,
bag,
I saw the
however.
T-shirt. You owe me the T-shirt. I got to get
Oh,
that.
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So when I say, like, so not to be like, you being like, "Oh, swag, no junk swag," and me being like, "There's gonna be swag," right? At our event, we are telling every one of our vendors, "Hey, we're marketers. We have all the junky koozies. We have the garbage, whatever. Like, don't bring that. You're gonna bring something nice that people want that will keep. Don't bring something that people throw out. Thank you." You know, and bring something that you could take with you and use elsewhere if there's not enough of folks who want it. Like a sticker. Stickers are great. Everybody loves stickers. They're small. They're like portable. They don't cost a lot to ship. Put them in your backpack, bring them, things like that. Um, and yes, there is a charity component to our conference. We are partnered with Women's Society of Cyber Jitsu, which is a nonprofit focused on getting more women into the field of technical cybersecurity, as it's a very good field to be in and a very good career. And so we have so far raised $900 just based off of our conference because our sponsors and our have the option of joining Passport to Charity. So instead of Passport to Prizes, where they give out like Amazon gift card or whatever, instead, if you visit the every booth and submit the raffle ticket for those who are participating, then they are basically committing to donate money to charity to the Women's Society of Cyber Jitsu, and we're super excited about this partnership. The nonprofit will be there on Tuesday. We are also raising money for the nonprofit through our awards ceremony. It is the Marquee Awards. We are offering we're the awards for marketers in cyber. All the awards are free. So, how are we raising money for charity? Well, the awards for marketers are free. And then we have some vendor and partner awards that cost $250 to submit. And that fund will be given to the Women's Society of Cyber Jitsu. And then yesterday we also launched with Alan Alford, who is a rather famous CISO, the Shiner Bestest Ever Award. So if you do want an award, if you just want to win an award and don't want to deal with all that brouhaha of actually applying and being competitive in your value proposition, for $25 you can submit to the Bestest Ever Award and win a certificate for a simple donation of $25, which also goes to Women's Society of Cyber Jitsu.
Oh my God,
I feel like that was a lot of like word garbage, but
my
basically the Marquee Awards raises money and we're raising money for charity. And
no, that's
please submit an award.
perfect. Perfect.
Mhm.
There's not enough of that out there. Sorry, my Xennial nature. I'm having this echoing of boomers. No offense to a lot of old people. Why do we call them boomers instead of just babies? Because that's more the behavior. Anyway,
Oh my.
yep, another spicy take. Um, but that's just totally goes into the participation ribbon thing. But I still love it. As
Yeah.
somebody
Well,
who,
you get it for $25 is what you get it.
yeah,
Then we give that money to charity. And then the other awards, the paid and the free ones, are legitimate awards. We will have a ceremony at our conference on Tuesday, December 12th. So make sure to submit before the deadline, which is November 15th, 2023, which may or may not be passed by the time this comes out.
I'll
But of
do my
course,
best
we're gonna have the award next year too.
to get it launched. Hopefully, the show's going to launch November 10th, and
Ooh.
I'm wondering if I'm going to drop a whole season all at once or if I'm going to just
Ooh.
do the slow leak. I've gotten some very good opinions from people that have done both. And at my age, slow leak can mean many things. So, all
Ah.
right, I'm holding you long. We started late, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to punish you anyway. We're going to do two things. I'm going to do a lightning round that I didn't
Mhm.
warn you about, and then we're going to go with that final appeal so people don't
Great.
hang up. These are the two important things at the very end. You ready for the lightning round? I got to get sound
I'm
effects
ready.
for it. It'd be just so much better. Rod Roddy and the applause, maybe like actual thunder. I don't know. You can help me riff on that. I'll put it in the society.
Mhm.
Is it pronounced GIF or GIF?
It's Jif. No, wait. I have a strong opinion on that, but I don't remember which way I lean. Huh. It's Jif. I think it's Jif.
We're getting fluid in our age. Does sales hate marketing? One word answers.
Sometimes.
More indecisiveness. What's the most important metric for a salesperson?
Closed one. Revenue pipeline. Closed one.
What's more fulfilling, cybersecurity marketing or making buttons?
Cybersecurity marketing.
Nice pause there. We'll just call it a Shatner dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
What's the most important metric for a marketing team?
Depends.
Give me one. Give me one.
Depends, Peter. This goes back to what I literally riffed on this for like 2 to 6 whole minutes. Because how mature is the marketing team? How many people are on it? What does the company sell? What's the sales motion? Is it Peter-led growth or is it enterprise sales? I'm going to pick one. I'm going to say it's enterprise sales at a very mature company in cyber. I'm going to say it's pipeline. Contribution, marketing source, contribution to pipeline.
And if you do that, then sales won't hate you as a marketer.
They might still. They're kind of,
Okay.
they could be annoying.
Oh, there you go. You just
They
clarified.
can be
Sales
picky.
hates marketing. All right. What's the most important function in marketing?
Friendship.
Okay. You know what the number one answer for that has been so far? Brand.
Ops.
Brand.
Brand. Yeah, that also makes sense. See, I'm in a weird spot. I can't pick any favorites either. Like, like that's not
Oh,
nice.
heavy is the head that wears the crown. Content.
Oh, okay.
Content.
No,
Is it the gates of hell or is it the gate to heaven?
What?
Gated content. Is it good or bad?
It depends.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, it depends. Stop it. Peter, you're
All right, I'm
turning
going to do a
into one of
lighter
those
lift.
thought leaders.
Is PLG a sales motion or a marketing motion?
It's a marketing motion.
Who's the best person to follow on LinkedIn?
You.
Oh my God.
And then second, me.
All right. The best book recommendation for marketers, you already threw out Cult of Done. I'm going to accept that as the answer. But if you have an alternative,
Not a book.
specific
It's like
to
a web.
marketers,
It's like a page on a website.
oh,
Best book for marketers, probably Crucial Conversations.
okay. What's the first step in being you when I grow up?
You have to dye your hair blonde and then let it grow out halfway. And then you have to think every single day when you get on a video call with someone, should I call the salon to fill in the rest of my hair now that it's grown out so far and looks really weird? That's the first step.
All right. For those picking up the social interstitials and the vidcasts on Spotify, YouTube, and I'm sure I'll find other platforms. Yeah, she looks like she has a brown pixie cut and is wearing a yellow scarf. Do you want people finding you? I think the answer is yes.
Yes, find me on LinkedIn. I'm Gianna Whitver, and it's hard to spell, but there will be show notes, I think. Right, Peter?
Yeah, there's 2 N's and 2 I's. 2 A's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are.
It's easy to find.
1 V. That trips people up.
Whitver? Do they say Whitfer? Because
People don't know. When I say Whitver, people don't know how to spell that at all.
I'd also say try and hunt her down at the Cybersecurity Marketing Society. It'll be somebody with the extremely aggressive ombre.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want people contacting you about?
If you are a marketer in cybersecurity, we're here to help. If you need help finding a new career or a new job role in cybersecurity marketing, we're here to help. And then I like to talk to the other entrepreneurs building things because and sometimes I need a little support too on this side of the house.
You get away from the 4-wall problem.
Mm-hmm. I need to talk with some of the folks building things too.
Super lonely entrepreneurship, isn't it? You
Mm-hmm.
can't talk about it. People think that you've got this like manic thing. You'll be totally depressed and preoccupied with something, and then you'll solve it, and you'll be completely up, but you've never communicated why on either front.
Yeah, you're just like a weirdo that like works at a coffee shop sometimes.
And
Never
then,
talks to anyone. It's constantly stressed. It's going to a conference. Goes to lots of conferences. Happy, sad. Yeah. I would like to meet more of my people. So if you are one, hit me up.
and support group for family members of people that are entrepreneurs. They should.
Oh my
have stuff
God,
down too.
Peter. Support group? That's
No,
hilarious.
seriously. My Heidi, my wife,
Entrepreneurs Anonymous.
she's like, I learn more about what you're doing when you're talking to others and you don't think I'm around than when you talk to me. And I said, yeah, it's the spousal eavesdrop. It's one of the biggest things about being an entrepreneur. All right.
So
How and where do they connect with you? You said LinkedIn. You said the cybersecurity marketing
society.
group,
That's
community. You do
That's
have to
it.
apply to be on there, people. It's not like you just get a Slack link and you move on with life. And
Yep.
no, if somebody's in it, they cannot invite you. That's don't do that.
You
And
could do
then
that. You're just not they're not gonna get in that way. You have to direct them to cybersecuritymarketingsociety.com. And at the top, there's a in the menu bar, there's a apply button. Click on that.
and then how and where and then in person at the conference. The people can
Yes,
find you. People can find you. And
absolutely.
they can find the solutions they need. All right. So what's your big appeal to the space other than nuking nuances? What would make you happy if you saw it happen by the next conference?
I think that a lot of marketers in this space call themselves dumb, and I hate that. They say, "I'm not technical. I'm dumb. I don't understand." "Oh, I'm just a marketer." Like, okay, right? You're not hacking into things. We get it on a daily basis. But let's all put ourselves down a little less and understand that our role in the industry is important and that as long as you're doing your best and doing good work, you're doing there's theoretically you're doing a good job. And I'll also add that the Cybersecurity Marketing Society will be launching courses for marketers on cybersecurity. So if you do feel in your heart you're new to the industry, you're like, I've been here 6 months and I don't get it, or you just need a refresher about the technologies in the space so you can have a better understanding of the industry and where your product that you're selling and marketing fits in to the broader conversation, then join the Cybersecurity Marketing Society. Follow our newsletter because we are launching courses as well in this upcoming year on how to understand cybersecurity as a marketer.
There we go. That's an easy
There's a
appeal.
pitch. There's
No,
a
because you're
pitch right
asking
there at the
people to
end.
do something and then you're providing them the tools to do it. That's
Yeah. We want to make the industry better. It's like it's an ecosystem here. We want everyone who's a marketer to feel like they have a place in this industry and that it's not them versus cybersecurity. It's we are holding the hands together to defend the world and the businesses and the companies and the people of the world. This is a really important industry to be in.
okay then. Gianna Whitver, Ver with a V.
Mhm.
Thank you for coming. Maybe I
Thank
will
you.
see you in Austin. People who
You
are
gotta
listening,
come, Peter.
I'm
Peter.
gonna try and crank this out before the show. I'll try to make it down to Austin. For those
Okay.
of you that do make it down to Austin, because I'm gonna bust my butt to get this out in time to not only apply for awards or purchase an award, but also go. If I don't make it, please give Gianna a high five for me.
Please bring a cardboard cutout of Peter if Peter can't make it.
I can,
We'll
you know
set you
what?
up in the
Nope,
fun station.
done and done. I will ship a full
Okay.
size. We got that. It's gonna happen, and I'll pack some
Okay.
stickers on it. It'll be a lot of fun.
That would be we will we will do
We'll do
that
a
if you
roaming
ship
gnome.
it.
Perfect.
Thank you.
I had
Thank
to
you,
find it.
Peter, for having me on.
Yeah,
This was really fun. You have a
good.
great show.
Thank you very much. As do you. Pitch the
Thank you.
show. You left the
Oh,
show
shit!
off. My God.
Forgot! We have a podcast called Breaking Through in
Thank goodness for
Cybersecurity
show notes.
Marketing. We have the podcast. We do a lot of things. I have the podcast Breaking Through in Cybersecurity Marketing, and you can listen to episodes wherever you find podcast episodes, Apple, Spotify, the other ones, Podcast Addict, etc. And we're always looking for marketers in cyber to be on the show as well. So reach out to podcasts at cybersecuritymarketingsociety.com if you are interested in being on the podcast. Thank you, Peter. This has been fun.
Thank you.